We literally have 2 weeks left until this game launches across all platforms. And there's still a lot that needs to be addressed with this title. I want to just say before we get started, shout out to everybody that's been following, subbing, commenting, giving their thoughts, opinions. We have one side, honestly, that just completely is bashing the game, negative, not messing with it. We have the other side that is completely, supporting the game, defending it, which I understand both sides. And then we have the guys in the middle who are hoping for the best, but they see the BS that's going on, okay? So I do want to say shout out to everyone who's been supporting the title and also my videos as well, breaking down the game and just showing y'all some gameplay. I do want to be very clear. The gameplay is coming from the PC version. Undisputed is in early access. Early access basically entails that you will be playing an alpha-ish kind of version of the game, which will have bugs, it will have glitches, and possibly some optimization issues, but you've agreed to either pay for this game and support the devs in the process of them developing the game. I want people to be very clear about that. So everything you see here is subject and will possibly change by the time the game releases officially. Some people don't want to play an early access game. Some people aren't as educated and don't know what early access is and just think this game is actually out right now fully for Steam. No, the game is in early access for Steam. It's why you only see like 300 to 500 people playing this game right now. Some people are saying the game is dead. Again, if you understand what early access is, some people would rather just wait for the full launch, which is in 2 weeks. So I just want to be very clear with that. Also, in this video, I will be mentioning 10 things, most important features and stuff, bugs, glitch, everything that needs to be either added or removed or fixed or addressed in this game in order for it to succeed, to be exceptional across the board of a boxing game. For those who want longevity in this game, I'm telling you, these 10 key features are so important. There's no way you can deny it. And lastly, because I'm babbling, I won't be mentioning the roster in this game, the lack or maybe the fact that there's not many boxers in the roster right now being shown in certain features in that area, because this game is in early access. They've already mentioned that they have a bunch of boxers that are going to be entering the game at launch and all this other stuff. So I'm hoping we'll see that when the game launches. So I'm not going to be talking about that either. So let's get into it. Number one, the stun game. When you stun your opponent, you receive this blue bar that gives you kind of like a boost, and you're just really like unstoppable at the moment. You have some crazy momentum going on, and your opponent is really just fending for their lives, right? Like they're trying to defend themselves. In most cases, they can kind of block a certain way. It gets a little awkward sometimes because you're trying to block the body where they might be just spamming punches for that. But I feel like the stun game needs to be worked on a little bit. When you stun your opponent, I feel like the controls and the game physics, it has you a little bit stiff. When you're entering some sort of physical kind of combat, when you're fighting and you're boxing your opponent, I should say boxing, excuse me, it feels like there's a barrier and it doesn't feel like you can go in for the punch. And when you're about to throw a punch, even with like a heavy punch, it seems like instead of the arms reaching, it seems like they're doing baby punches and it doesn't seem effective. The game needs to kind of loosen up a little bit and allow just punches to be thrown. And then, to compromise and to kind of go hand in hand for balance, allow the stamina to be in effect. But in terms of stunning, that needs to be worked on, because there's so many times I've played with friends and online, you would stun your opponent and we are literally laughing. It's funny in the moment, but the stun game needs to be kind of fixed because you can literally get away without getting knocked down. Then there's some cases where you could just full on, it's very inconsistent. You can full on just kind of body your opponent and get in, within the game and just knock them to the floor. So I just feel like a little balance on that, make it a little bit more physical, more tight edge, and allow, if you did stun your opponent to go in, but then also give the player the ability to block more better. It gets a little bit awkward in my opinion. Number two, not only with the stun game, but when you knock your opponent out, I'm praying that, the way they fall is just a placeholder, because they don't, the way boxers fall in real life, I can understand the positioning, the face expressions, the angle. They kind of have like a little, some ragdoll to it, lifelessness, depending on how they fall. But in the game, I don't feel like it, depicts it properly. It's like they falling like an old person who just fell off like from down the steps, and it just becomes slow motion. It doesn't seem effective. I hate when people say don't compare it to Fight Night, but let's be honest, if NBA Live releases and 2K's next to hand in hand, they're both basketball games. It's not like we're comparing a football game and a baseball game. So we are going to look at the most recent boxing games, and with one of the successful ones, Fight Night Champion, or any other Fight Night, you'll notice when you severely knock your opponent out, a speed of just impact and effectiveness when they hit the floor, versus doesn't matter, you can hit them and everything and they just have this slow motion fall like it's cinematic, but it's really not. It just seems very sluggish, and I just want them to kind of fix that ragdoll feature. I understand they also have like this flash knockout, which I've showed in the video that I previously uploaded, where I did like an uppercut with Ryan Garcia, and my opponent he just looked like dead on, like it looked cool actually. But I think in most cases, some of the regular knockouts or knockdowns seem a little bit like slow, and it looks very elderly-ish. And people want to feel like rewarded. It's a boxing game when they're connecting their punches. And I think if they address some of that too and make the fall seem like it's an impact and you bounce off the mat, we're not asking for WWE. We're just asking for an enhanced or more effective looks, and just way that you can feel immersed and rewarded at the same time. Another feature, in my opinion, and we might bounce around between most important, less important, least important. Regardless, to me, these are all important. The very end is going to be severely important. But number 3, I would have to say coloring to the body when, delivering body shots, or even to the face. Also with cuts, bruises, swelling, and sweat. They've shown gameplay, and we've seen console gameplay too, and I'm glad it's looking great. But I feel like online, the sweat engine effects, and those effects don't really have the same effect as if you were playing offline. It's a little bit more consistent offline. And I would hope that in the future, or when the game releases, it's boxing and we see it all the time, that we see a lot of sweat being, I know it sounds kind of crazy, I ain't trying to be on no kinky shit, you feel me? But I'm saying, like, the idea when you punch somebody in the face, we trying to see those effects, them little particle effects of sweat, especially like when you hit the body, add some coloring to it. I believe they said they were doing that, and I thought we did see that, but I don't know if it's been removed. Again, it's early access. The only time I've seen the face, redness was in the face, but it looks awkward. Like you punch somebody here, but the whole face is red. It gets a little bit inconsistent. But one of the most disappointing things to many people, and sometimes it does get frustrating, is not actually getting cuts and bruises. Like you will see it sometimes. It sometimes happens, and when you see it, it's a lot. Like you see a good amount of blood, cuts and bruises. But it has people playing like rolling a dice. Like, when does it happen? Like the swelling meter, I think, goes up, right? But it's still a little bit inconsistent to where you could be bopping somebody all day, hit them with jabs and hooks and haymakers, everything, and they'll never bleed. And then all of a sudden I'll play another match online and I just did one jab and he's gashed. So, stuff like that, I wish there was like more consistency, maybe have a rewarding counter to it, or if you just pop somebody in the face. Also add more effectiveness when it comes down to the swelling. I would like to see like noses and, depending on how far they're willing to go, but also, of course, seeing the blood that's already on the body, it looks amazing. And just probably have it a little bit more frequent, because again, you can go 12 rounds sometimes and you're like, bro, wow. Like it's kind of funny. I have not seen, any blood at all. And going back to the knockdowns, is very random when you have a faster flash knockout where it looks funny, it looks crazy, and it looks dope, but it's not often. But going back to number 3, yeah, I kind of want to see more of the sweat, the blood, and effects and the physics of the game kind of get a little bit more immersed and more effective when you are landing these punches with cuts, bruises, and swellings, black eyes perhaps, and stuff like that. Number 4 didn't actually bother me, but after speaking to so many people, there's people on one end that don't care, but there's people on the other end that are like, listen, if you're gonna make a product that's like simulation, and you want to make a realistic game, you got to go all the way with it. You can't just half-ass a realistic boxing game or any kind of game, like even if it's basketball, and that is include the ref during the match. I think including, and it sucks because to go back in and have the ref physically be involved and making sure whatever, you might have to go in and decode or recode stuff, but just to at least have the ref in the ring involved, not just when you get knocked down, that's something that I'm like 50-50 with. I understand why they're not having that ref like straight on in your face, but I can understand the other side where the referee is still a huge key part of the match, along with like consistent commentary. Sometimes the commentary isn't really consistent, and sometimes they're not really up to date, and sometimes very off. One time they were doing commentary and they called us the wrong name, but again, it's early access, but just some stuff to look into and hopefully can be fixed in the future. Now, for me, this is the most frustrating thing that I hope they fix, because people have this kind of belief that just because you're a heavyweight, that must mean you punch slow. Did you not look at Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua's fight? It just shows people do punch fast in the heavyweight division. It doesn't matter. I feel like the heavyweight division, they got like more sluggish punches. They punch very slow, especially in some cases when you think you're throwing a heavy, or you're walking forward trying to throw a jab, and they stop halfway. A lot of it looks very awkward, and it honestly throws you off. It pisses you off, actually, because there's so many ways and so many times you have an open opportunity to hit your opponent, and they're not swinging, and then all of a sudden you back up all the way, and then your opponent, you press X, square, circle, whatever, and you're throwing the hook or the haymaker or the jab properly. But once you get close, it's almost like there's a weird barrier that's stopping your boxer from fulfilling full thrown punches. Obviously, sometimes they land fully, sometimes they don't. But when they don't, it's real frustrating, because it's not like your opponent is blocking it or doing anything else. No, this is happening on both sides. And that's one of the most annoying shits that I've noticed in this game. And it makes the punches look awkward. I'm seeing everybody in the comments, they know I'm not bugging. Everybody in the comment section is even saying it. You know, all of a sudden you might have somebody just start spamming body punches, but your literal face is open, and I'm trying to just hit you with something, but it's not reaching. Meanwhile, Muhammad Ali, who got a crazy reach, it doesn't make any sense. Please fix that shit. Another thing too that I've noticed, and this is number 6, was just kind of, update some of the, roster that you have with their record, and just making sure that when the game releases, you have real live in real time their record and just some stuff. And I know they're gonna have that, like just like UFC be doing that. They'll have like some of the live matches that are happening, and they'll put them in the game for you to play with your friends. But in terms of showing some people's up-to-date records, I was hoping like Dalton Smith, I think his record is different there in game versus where he's at now in his career. And I'm just hoping that they can have that up to date, and really just like, because again, we're not looking for Undisputed 2 anytime soon. I'm assuming they're trying to really keep this game as a consistent boxing game for years to come. So hopefully they do update, whether if it's like looks, likeliness, and beards and whatever. Those are features that keep longevity. Again, the idea is to have longevity in the boxing game, and for anybody to think that that's not important, it's kind of ridiculous. You never know, somebody might have long hair now and we're still fighting with them or boxing with them with short hair, or they might change coaches or weight divisions and something like that. And these are important things that you would like to see added into the game in the future. Now, I forgot to mention, I'm not going to say too much. This is like a side bonus. I'm not going to say too much about the campaign. I will say that I don't agree with any sports game having us feel like we play like dog shit, or like, and this is not even number 7, by the way. I just thought about this right now, like, wait a minute, I don't want people to think I'm not going to address this. I'm just not a fan of playing a sports game, and like realistically, they're not going to draft you if you don't have some sort of physicality or effectiveness to the game. In 2K, they do it. They start you at an overall 60, 65, whatever. MLB does it, UFC, Madden, and like, we're like noobs and shit. And it's like, even though I understand, but when you're playing in the career, the first couple matches, these slow ass punches, like, come on, man, like, we got to move past that. Maybe give the punches some life, give the boxer more speed, but like, you don't have to give him the damage for it. But like, it's just not realistic, man. And again, if you're going realistic, the full on thing, you got to go to full on thing. So, and I will say, for the video that I'm going to do, the top 10 things that make this game great, I promise you, customization, I love it a lot, but there's some things they can add, which I'm going to roll back to in a second. But number 7 I would have to actually say, going hand in hand with the character customization, a storefront or some sort of like lobby or whatever to download other users created boxers. You don't understand how nice, like how great of a feature that would be. Again, I'm a referencing Fight Night had it, and it's kind of cool because say there's people in the WWE wrestling side, like wrestling fans in the WWE community. You gotta see, man, the way they're doing their create a wrestler, and these guys are fucking masterful at it, bro. They're making guys like Jacob Fatu, who's not even in the game. They creating crazy renders. They're creating like people who were about to come in as DLC. They were already making them, and it's a phenomenal thing going on in the community. And you know what, Undisputed, you guys should have that too. You guys can create communities of people who are literally sole purpose right now would be to just create boxers that you know you couldn't possibly pay for a license because they want too much money. There's people out there, you just give the creative freedom and they would create crazy likenesses. Like, it'll be amazing. And again, you can't really sue somebody because you're giving them creative control with the tools that you added for the creative character. And then you can allow people to like share their creative boxer. Like, again, nobody's hacking the game. This will be a great feature. Maybe they did say that this is something I didn't know. I didn't hear of this, but I do know that they do have a storefront that, you know, says something about boxers in the store coming soon. So I think you're able to like purchase boxes with like in-game currency or whatever, unlock currency. I don't know what kind of currency they're gonna do, but it will be fine to like see that. You know, I think a lot of people will be happy with that because people like to make content on fantasy matches of old boxers. Jack Johnson, perhaps somebody might want to make him, or somebody might want to make Tyson, or people might want to make Anthony Joshua, Mayweather, and people that aren't currently in the game. So this would be a great addition to Undisputed, and you'll start seeing a lot of people spawning in with different content. I promise you that. Even doing career mode, if you can go crazier with that and watch them saying reliving like Mike Tyson's life in the career mode. Like, you never know what people are capable of doing. Number 8, get in there. Number 8. Yo, man, fix your invite system, dog. I almost took it there, bro. All right, so look, the invite system is not the worst, but it's annoying. 37 capital Q and then whatever else digits and letters. Man, have a better and easier invite system, man. Allow people to just have like, just if they see your friends list on the column and they could just join in, or have an invite system, have a lobby with other people, and each time somebody finishes their matches, the other one can join in. We just want a more simpler way to invite our friends and to play with other people, man. I was hoping to have like little mini tournaments so to have a bracket system and I can have everybody in a spectator lobby, and as soon as whoever's ready could just scroll their side in and it'll be their turn and we can all watch. I think that's missing in a lot of games, and that would be a great addition. There's not much more for me to say, but just that invite system is currently, I'm not liking it. You know, you could join the lobby, but you gotta always write that code in. I understand, but sometimes it gets a little bit annoying, man. Just if you see your friends list, create a private lobby, invite a friend, let your friends list pop up or something. If they're able to do that, if you're able to do that, that would be the best way. Because this 37Q shit, I'm getting tired, man. 37QK, yo, I ain't fucking with it. Number 9, I would have to say fix the ranking system. Before I get into detail with that, I do want to say I'm not going to sit here and downplay me waiting minutes upon minutes to get into a match. Understand, this is early access, only available on Steam currently in early access. So if not many people have the game right now, I can't fault that I can't find certain matches. It does suck because I've been wanting to use Clarissa Shields. They are making a movie, you know, about her early life, which I think is super dope. And I wanted to use her online, but I can't seem to find a match. But that's besides kind of my point. I just wanted to make it very clear. If you've been watching people and they can't find a match, kind of put 2 and 2 together as to why. It just makes sense that way. But number 9, I would have to say, man, just that rank system. I'm a rookie and I got put into a platinum 3. And even though it was weird that I won, I don't know how, I think the game glitched, but rank system is fucking fucked up right now. And hopefully that's being fixed. There's not much for me to say. You know, it makes it discouraging for people to want to jump in. You got us up in here in skill-based matchmaking lobbies and shit like we in fucking Call of Duty. Fucking shit is trash, yo. Like, I don't like their rank system in there. But it's pretty dope that, you know, and hopefully later on you add mad different division belts and stuff. You know, just like how boxing has so many belts, it'll be cool for people to have a system where they can kind of join in and see what division they want to be a part of and really rank up their boxer that they want. Either, the thing is, I don't know if, you know, it's a good idea to rank up your custom boxer, because that's where people start cheating. But, you know, picking a boxer that they want to just kind of grow with and have rewards and stuff like that, like gear, you know, related to whoever you pick in your ranking card, that would be kind of great. Last but not least, and trust me, I mentioned 10 to like 2 bonus ones. So that's basically 12 things, right? And there's probably more. So if you guys have any extra stuff y'all want to input or give your input on, drop it in the comment section. But number 10, the desync lag delay in the lobby, even though you see all the internet bars are green, it doesn't matter. That desync is trash, and I'm hoping that by the time I'm speaking about it, you'll see the gameplay behind me. There's times you guys are watching and I see your comments and y'all assume that a lot of us playing the game are just stupid. I think y'all assume like we don't know to block or to punch or to throw a jab. I'm gonna try to describe it the best way possible so you can get an understanding. Remember, early access, but still. When the game has desync or latency issues or there's some lag or delay, basically you're moving around, but if your opponent is like say your opponent's head is right here, my head is right here. Or no, say your opponent's head is right here. I can throw a punch, it stops right here, but it's still hitting my opponent, which means on his end, he's probably either up close or there's just a coding issue, a desync issue, and the punches are still hitting. I think Overwatch did it. I forgot what game did it. That I think Overwatch, one game did it to where they showed the hitboxes and people were shooting a little bit away from the body and it was still hitting the body. So like it wasn't even touching their body, but the damage was still being taken. So understand that there's times in the match, you'll probably see behind me, that I'm literally getting punched by Roy Jones and I can feel my controller vibrating. I can see the meter moving, but bro, he's not even throwing a punch. Or sometimes I'm thinking I'm good. On my screen, he's punching me. He threw like 4 punches, but I blocked maybe 1.5, you know what I'm saying? But, and I thought I blocked. So I'm throwing now to the face and not noticing he's like 8 punches in. So now I'm like, wait, his punches ain't punching, bitch. He ain't even registering like his punches all the way. I just pieced him 3 times. No, he already done with his 8 punches. I'm thinking it's 4. So now my stamina is being depleted. My health on block is low. My body shots are low. And I'm throwing punches. That's a flash knockout waiting to happen on me. So that's why you start seeing me falling. And it happens to my opponents all the time too, like back and forth. That can break your game. People won't want to play the game. That's the major key thing right there. If that desync issue, Deep Silver and the other company, if that continues to happen, nobody's gonna play the game. Your game's gonna die. I'm just gonna be very blunt with that. I'm be very transparent. That's gonna kill your game, because the idea that the trailer and everything is showing mushiness when a boxing glove is hitting a face or a body part, but then there's times literally you hear and I'm like, yo, I didn't even throw a punch, or he didn't even throw a punch. There's a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of desync, a lot of latency, a lot of lag going on, and it's not fun. It kind of kills it, because I'm trying to go crazy and have y'all comment on my performance in the game, but yeah, y'all shitting on me because y'all think I'm not trying to block or I'm not trying to throw punches. Understand, I'm fucking confused. I got punched with 3 hits and I'm like, why my controller vibrating? I don't see, he's like moving away from me. The dudes be throwing uppercuts, they're away from me, and it goes and it hits me. That is the number one thing you need to fix in your game. There's just no doubt. There's just nothing to it. You have to fix that in the game. And I can't sit here and accept the fact that, yo, like, that's something that will break your game. And if you don't address that, you don't fix that, come on, man, you're looking like Ubisoft, man, with their damn X-Defiant. X-Defiant had desync issues. This shit was bad. Latency delay. It was bad. It's almost like ghosting and shit, but without ghosting. It's just not fun, and that can kill the game. And I'm tired of people feeling like there's no, they're like, why are you comparing EA to, bro? Because EA didn't have those issues, man. EA got issues now, but EA didn't have them damn issues, man. EA didn't have them latency issues. Punches were connecting. You know what I'm saying? Of course you had the bullshit happen, but this is just one of those unacceptable situations where you have lag, and not even lag like we're lagging moving. Like you be moving like you good and you throwing punches, and I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden my boy Trey was like, wait, you punching me? And I'm like, yeah. In my camera or on my screen, I'm fucking you up. So those are like the 10 most important things that need to be fixed, added, or addressed to make this game, to fix this game, to make this game successful, in my opinion, to be great. And if you do that, this game will have so much longevity. I don't know about battle passes and all this other stuff that they're gonna add, but we're talking about mechanically and features in game that can either make the game fun or break the game. And I'm not here to break any kind of mechanic of the game. We're here to try to address and fix a lot of the issues that are clearly there. I don't care who you are in my chat who's gonna talk about some dumb shit. I've had these dudes in my chat the other day in one of the videos that I made talk about how I got a PS5 cover on my thumb. Bitch, the game is dropping on PS5, motherfucker. That's why I'm putting it there. That bothers you? The game, you can pre-order the game right now on the fucking PS5. That bothered you? I didn't title it I'm playing PS5 right now. Make fucking sense. Like, focus on the video, man. Focus on what the fuck going on, bro. We want a good boxing game. That's all I care about, man, is a good fucking boxing game. But that's all I have for now. The top 10 things that, the top 10 most important things that need to be added to the game, fixes that need to be added to the game to make this game playable, fun, successful, exceptional across the board. Y'all let me know what you guys think. You know, drop all kinds of opinions, even suggestions, even your thoughts on it. Just don't take this early access, because some of y'all thought I was just gonna bash the game, which was super weird. But don't take this as this is a dead product, or no, man, it's called early access. And it's unfortunate that some people don't know what early access is, because you don't realize that this is a great opportunity for us to complain or voice something. And since early access, the devs see that much more faster than just trying to tweet at them. They'll see the issues. But yeah, it's your boy 3MG. We are about to hit 80K. I cannot believe it. I want to say thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I didn't feel like I had the voice to speak in games and talk. I felt like I was just annoying. I felt like my voice is just, I felt ghetto. I felt like people gonna try to judge me now for my slang and how I am and shit like that, for me being me. So I just want to say at the end of the day, man, fuck them and thank you. Okay, I love y'all. God bless. We out of here. Also follow me on Twitch. I will be doing giveaways for the game when it comes out. Follow your boy on Twitch, man. 3MG Live. Shit is lit. All right, I love y'all. God bless. Peace.